Right, this is going to be my solution to Wabble, which was the afternoon session's first case of the knockout rounds in the Microsoft Excel World Championship. So I didn't actually do that well in this one. I just came back to it afterwards and did the same method and managed to get a really good score, so I must have done something wrong in the real thing. Anyway, let's get into it. We're essentially playing Scrabble on this board here. Placing certain words, you've kind of basically got a dictionary here, and you have to find how many points you get. First bonus, how many animals can you find inside the strings of levels 1 to 6? So I have a little lambda here that pulls in all the questions from the case. So let's just copy those, and all of the words are in this cell here, in that column, sorry. Then I basically want to search for alligator in that list of words. That's going to tell me whether it's there or not. So I'm going to say is number, and then I'm going to put a minus minus in front of it. And what that will do is convert it into ones or zeros if it is a number. I will then say sum. This might be a slow way to do it, I'm not sure. And if I pull that, I don't want to actually lock my words here. And that should give me how many animals there are. So there are a total of 5. How many bonus spaces are on the board? So equals count if board, and then I can do asterisk question mark asterisk, and that's basically saying a question mark is going to substitute a character. Because there's 2 here, I've just put an asterisk either side. I could actually just do a double question mark, which probably makes more sense. So let's do that. And then we'll get 30. How many times does the most common letter appear in the list of words on the words tab? So here's all my words. I'm just going to delete this. Basically, I want to split them out into letters. So I have a lambda that does that called split text. The actual lambda behind that is just mid of this sequence of the length of this. But I cannot be bothered to write that out every time, so I've just made a lambda. I'm going to 2-row that and send it down to everything. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to use my most common lambda of everything here. I want most of, which gives me actually everything. And I can see it's E here. So this is basically a group by on the count of those letters. So that's that one done. What is the total face value of all letters appearing in the case? So again, this is quite similar to this tab where I pulled out all of the words. So all I need to do is that same thing. Split text of this. I want to do it 2-row as well. Send it down. I'm going to insert a column here. I want to do sum of XLOOKUP this in the points, and then we have the letters here and the points here, and that should give me all of the letter points, which is 3662, the sum of those. So 3662. We'll come to the last bonus later. Okay, the first question is asking if these are valid words, so if they appear in our dictionary. So I'm going to say xmatch this in list of words. That's basically going to give me a yes or no if it's there. So I'm going to say is number, and then I'm going to convert. I'm going to say if it is a number, then do yes, otherwise do no. Okay, and then now we just want to find the value of the letter. So this is just XLOOKUP the letter in here. Actually, I think this second question is harder than this first one, unless I'm missing an easier way to do that. Okay, then exactly what we just did. So first we need to check if these are actually valid scoring words. So let's move that to here. Something's wrong there. Oh, we didn't actually lock our list of words here. We're still lucky that we caught them all. But let's just do it properly. It's a bit slow. Okay. We basically want to say, I'll do it out here so you can see it. first thing I'm going to split this down, but I want to do upper instead. So let's do upper. I then want to look for all the points, so look for the points in the points. That's going to give me all the points for those letters. I then have to just sum them up. And then I basically want to say if that equals yes, give me that, otherwise give me a 0. Is it really that many zeros? Maybe it is, yeah. Okay. How many points do each of these 7-letter words score if placed on the board? So the way I did this, I just split the letters out again and did my XLOOKUP. Should have probably named these as ranges to make it quicker. I'm going to 2-row it. And then I did this equals double letter. And I'm going to convert that to numbers. And then I'm going to add 1. And basically I want to times this array by this array to get all the double letters out. So let's just copy this actually into here. I'm going to say times by this. So there's our base score, and then we need to count how many double words are in here and multiply it up. So we're going to say times count if this double word times 2. The only problem is if there's not a double word here, we need to times it by 1. So I'm going to say if count if of that equals 0, do 1, otherwise do that whole thing times 2. I probably should have done that in a let to make it more efficient, but that should work. And I just need to sum all those up. Okay. Now it gets a bit more complicated because we're using the board. We basically want to use a start cell, send this word either down or across, and see how many points we get. So, how did I do this one? I actually did it with a data table. So, let's do that. So, example 5. G to I. That went wrong, so G to I. Okay, so basically what I want to do is I want to pull out B2 from the board, and I want to display this array here. So the way I'm going to do that is I'm going to say equals indirect of the map and my cell. So that's just going to pull out that cell. And if you use a colon, you can specify to where you want to go. So I want to say offset indirect again M and this, and we are going down here. So when we go down, we want to offset it by a number of rows, and that's going to be 5 rows because the length of the word is 5. So we say length of the word. But obviously we're going to place one of those letters on our starting cell, so we actually want to go down 1 less space. Our columns are going to be 0, and that should be it, I hope. So this is basically our section from the map. Now, if this says across, I want something slightly different. So I'm going to say if this equals down, do that. Otherwise, I want the whole thing again. But I want to change this offset to be a column offset instead of a row offset. And that's going to be 0. And to make it consistent, I'm going to actually 2-col that second part, so it always goes downwards like this. Next thing to do is to split text upper of this. That's going to give me my letters here, and I want to pull out the score. So I want to XLOOKUP this in my points, and pull out there, and I want to times it by whether that's a double word. So times if this equals, sorry, double letter, then 2, otherwise 1. So we can see this is a double letter, so it should times by 2. Oh, I haven't dragged this array down. There we go. Okay, then finally I want to do count if this says double word, and there's 1. So my final score is going to be the sum of this times if this is 0, because there might not be any double words, times by 1, otherwise do 2 times this. And that gives me 44, which matches the example. So let's pull that down. Bang. And something's gone wrong. So 74. What's happened there? It's obviously something with the across words. So to call indirect this. Oh, I put a comma 0 at the end, which I didn't need to do. So there we go, that's just a syntax mistake there. So that's the answers. This one's a little trickier. Example 6, you can place the words on any cell and you need to find the maximum score you can get. So I'm kind of going to use this setup again. Let's say example 6. I want to just put A1 if I'm starting in A1, and I'm going to say down here so that I have the same format. And this I just want to go to G. So we have basically the same thing. What I'm going to do is I'm going to make a big data table where I have every starting cell address and my question numbers in here. And I figure that I don't need to care about the bounds of the board, even though it says I do. Because what happens if I don't care about the bounds of the board is I might place a word here and it's going to come out here, and I'm just going to get 1 times the score for every letter. And I'm looking for the maximum score, so I could place that anywhere, like here, and get 1 times the maximum score. So I don't care about going out of bounds. The only problem is I could potentially hit these double letter, double word to change my score. So I'll just pull that out there, so I never hit it. And let's get this done. So I'm going to say, I'm going to pull my final calculation to there. So why can't I delete that? I can. So equals, what was my thing? The sum of this times if this equals 0, do 1, otherwise do 2 times this. Okay, so there's my score, and then let's do 2 row of this and this, and that's going to spit out everything on my map. And then I basically just want to do a big data table here. So let's do that. So I want my example here, and I want A1 there. So this is all my possible scores. So I'm just going to say down across, because we can place the words in either. And this is at the minute is down. So I'm going to say equals by row this, comma max. That's going to give me the maximum score if I place the words going downwards. So I'm actually going to copy that as values out here and move these across. And then I'm going to put across in here, and this is now recalculated to across. So let's say equals max of these, and this should be my answers. Now, there's something really cheeky in this question. I just spent ages on my second run through trying to figure out why these were wrong, and the reason is because these are not actually valid words. So if you did your valid word check from above, you would see that they're not valid, and the score for those should actually be 0. That is very sneaky, because in the earlier questions here they were always valid words, so I just assumed they were the real thing. Anyway, the final question, this one's kind of hard, but you basically want to, you have 7 tiles from a Scrabble board. You need to figure out what words you can play, and then what's worth the most. So there's basically a little trick for this. So let's do my data table up here, example 7. And what I want to do is I want to figure out if all of these words could be made from this word. What I want to do is I want to remove these 2 letters from here and see how long it is. And if it's 2 shorter than it is now, it means I took 2 things out, and that is a possible word. that accounts for like double letters and stuff, which is the hard part of this. I have a lambda that removes multiple letters from words, so I'm just going to show you. It's remove characters. I want to remove, let's say, all of that. I want to start with that, and I want to remove all of those characters. So this is like a big substitute. It removes every instance of a character. But I will do it properly just to show you how it works. So first of all, yeah, let's split text this, and I want to remove those letters one by one from this. So let's say scan of initial value is this, our array is that, and our lambda a comma v is substitute a with v, and the new text is nothing. So what that is going to do is it's going to run through here, take an a off, take the second a off, and I know if I took two a's off, then this is a valid word. So all I need to do is compare the lengths with the last thing in this. So let's change that to a reduce. So I want to do the length of our main word minus the length of our new word. So that's going to be 1, because there's one difference in letter when I remove those. So it's not a valid word. So if that equals the length of this, all of those that are true are valid words. So let's do filter our valid word list for where this is true. We get a list of valid words, and all we need to do is figure out the value. So split text of that. We want to do our sum of our XLOOKUP again, which we did earlier. XLOOKUP those in the points. Pull that down. I'm actually going to pull it a lot further as well, so I need to put an if error on it. The reason I need to pull it further is because this list might be way bigger. So I want to come down here, and then what I want to do is I want to say, and I basically just want the max of this, and that should be the answer. So we have 28, which matches the example. Where even is it? Let's go here, and we should be able to just data table that whole lot. Takes a little while, because obviously there's a lot of calculation going on in the background. So let's hope that's right. And it is. So the final bonus here, with all bonuses, what is the highest score you can achieve by placing any word on the board using any set of tiles from Game 7? So basically, I want to find what the best scoring word was here for each of my questions. And I want to put all those words onto every game board like I did here, and figure out which one scores the maximum points. So let's do that. So this is going to be XLOOKUP. Let's do 1,000 in here, return here, and we want exact match on X small item. So that's going to give me all of the words. So let's put our words into this data table here. And let's just put birth in here. So yeah, this is basically doing what we did earlier. I think that's all we need to do, isn't it? And then the by row is going to be across, so that's fine. Let's just copy it as values. Doesn't matter what it's labelled as. And then let's see what happens if we place it down. Oh, actually, we need to redo my data table. Sorry, I need to redo it with the word and this. There we go. So now we have the down words here, and then let's say across, and it should be the max of any of these. So it's 168 and 168, bang, done. Now, I don't know if this is actually technically correct, even though it gets to the right answer, because what could have happened is there could be multiple words that match the biggest number of points here. The letters may be worth different values, and then it would change by getting your double letter scores. So yeah, that is a risk, but this method worked. So yeah, that is my solution. I don't know why I did so bad in this one, because I didn't bang out question 7, but I got to question 6 and was fairly confident with my answers. I didn't recognise these zeros in here, but that should have been a good 950 odd points. So anyway, that's that. I'll upload the other cases tomorrow or when I get around to it. So hopefully you enjoyed. Subscribe if you did.